at some point soon. Jangbi versus Zero. Oh man, one of these is like APM. I'm pretty sure this one is APM. So Jangbi in that game had 14,000 APM, and Zero had 9,900. Not quite up to the 10,000 mark. Oh shit, it actually does say APM there though. Ah, rats. Wow, 369 and 3, what was that, 314? 369 average APM, what the hell?
그러니까 3대0 승부가 가장 많았던 허영무 선수의 그 어떤 기록만 보더라도 확실히 이 전략적인 수가 다전제에 너무나도 중요하고요. 무엇보다도
Playback. Lings run in. See the DTs. Oh wait, no. Oh, that Ling's actually not close enough. He saw it like, well, basically it doesn't even matter. He saw it like just too late. Jangbi, I think he thought that that one Hydra at the top was blocking the ramp, but actually it wasn't. Or actually, maybe he turned the the first DT definitely could have got in anyway, but I think he was worried that the second DT would get stuck outside. That's why he kept the first one back to attack. And he's like, oh, attacking the eggs. Low, 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 low. I'm a little bit surprised that Den never went down, but still amazing stuff.
더 제대로 찌르게 만들어준 이런 조건이 돼버린 거예요. 오현준 선수의 경기 때도 이게 정말 파란을 일으켰던 거고 그동안 질럿만 꽂던 질럿 공장장에서 그렇죠. 이 전략적인 수를 원래 뽑던 선수예요. 오현준 선수 그때 당시에는 양만 뽑아내던 그런 질럿 공장장이 이 한 방으로 사실 토스의 이름을 얻었거든요. 그러니까 이게 다크 템플러가 단순히
다크 템플러요
용도가 아니라 적의 유닛이 많지 않을 때는 그 공격력을 무시할 수가 없거든요. 그렇죠. 예, 이것저것을 배제하면서 한 가지 요소만을 극한으로 밀어붙이는 이러한 전략적인 플레이는 정말 극악의.
Oh, that's interesting. They're not interviewing the winner because, of course, they have to stay in the booth and keep playing. So instead, the commentators will just talk about the game. Ah, I'm so used to Pro League where I can like troll winners' interviews.
가장 혼란스럽고 충격적인 건 김명훈 선수가 말씀하신 것처럼 다전제이기 때문에 얼마만큼 추스릴 수 있느냐. 하지만 긍정적인 경기였고 전략이 아주 참신했다는 생각이 듭니다. 야, 진짜 허영무가 여러 가지 예상도 어려운 이 김명훈 경기에서 이길 때 만약에 또 모두 이 경기는 박정석이 홍준호 그 3, 4위전에 잡았던 그 멍추리 막 이렇게 연탄박술 뭐 이런 식으로 그런 컨셉 이거 진짜 완전 뒤집어지는 겁니다. 아주 백만 돈스 밴드.
Man, these guys are so excited while casting the replay. Can you guys hear this? Like super calm. It's like, yeah, mutal, mutal. I don't know what they're saying. It's like we saw the game already and they can still be so pumped. These guys are so good.
지난 시즌 거치면서 최후의 프로토스가 됐지 않습니까?
최후의 프로토스로.
개인리그 마지막은 허영무만 남아 있어요. 정말 뭐 뒤늦게 이제 뮤탈리스크를 빈집을 가면서 뭐 빼주면 좋겠지 하지만 뺄 이유가 없거든요, 허영무 선수가. 그렇습니다. 이 한 방은 이미 뭐 워낙 거대했으니까요. 자 이렇게 스코어 1대0으로 허영무가
Alright. That Stargirl. Actually, I just realized you can't have bunny girls in these booths because they're actually not that, the booths aren't that tall. So like, that Stargirl couldn't wear bunny ears because they'd just be poking against the top of the thing. Ah, that sucks. That sucks. So my dream of having bunny Stargirls is just like out the window because of the damn booths. Ah, rats. Yeah, I guess they would have to be floppy, like sad bunny ears, instead of like the ones that go up. Floppy bunny ears. Yeah, that'd be good too. That'd be good. Zero shuffling his chair. It's like his chair's not very comfortable. Or maybe he's like having a seizure and we can't tell.
끝나면 끝났을 겁니다. 거기서 자기 자신의 정신을 추스렸기 때문에 3대1 역전을 할 수 있었던 것도 예, 그렇게 플레이할 수 있는 그런 플레이가 시작될 수 있는 최적의 전장이에요. 그렇습니다. 이거 최후의 우승을 원하겠습니다만 이 선수에 속해 있는 그 팀의 감독 김가을 감독, 이재균 감독도 역시 프로듀오 최후의 스타리그 우승팀의 감독이 되기를 간절히 기원하거든요. 과연 그러면 김가을 감독과 이재균 감독은 지금 도대체 어떨지 그분들의 속내 역시 들어봤습니다. 화면성을 준비했군요. 함께 만나보겠습니다.
Oh, what is this? Oh, cool.
개인적으로는 마지막 우승자를 배출하고 싶죠.
둘이 경기를 했을 때 저그 대 프로토스의 역사에 남을 수 있는 경기.
일단 허영무 선수는 가볍게 이기고,
물론 승패도 중요하고 저희 입장에서는 허영무 선수가 올라가는 것도 중요하긴 하지만
3대0으로 그냥 확실하게 제압을 하겠습니다.
당신하고 축구를 했거든요. 축구를 했는데 김명우 선수가 안 왔더라고요.
허영무 선수의 비율들을 보고 있었습니다. 조금이라도 허영무 선수 분석하기 위해서
김명우 선수 너무 연습시키지 마시고요. 안 해도 잘하는 선수니까.
저희 이번에 좀 결승전 갈 수 있게 이번에 좀 한 번만 양보를 좀 해주십시오.
김명우 선수랑 허영무 선수가 좋은 경기 펼쳤으면 좋겠습니다.
가을의 전설을 만들어낸 팀이 우리 팀인데 여름에는 아무래도 화끈한 저그가 최고니까 이기지 못할 거야. 포기해.
티빙 스타리그 2012 4강 허영무 대 김명훈, 김명훈 대 허영무.
네. 자, 도트넘과 대원력에서 섞인 경기가 됐습니다. 과연 김가을 감독 또는 이재균 감독 오늘의 최후의 우승 감독은 누구일지 가려보겠습니다. 경기 보죠.
Alright, game number 2. Jangbi versus Zero. Oh man, he's looking intense. He's looking angry. Look at that. That's like as much of a death stare as Zero can do. Oh, I'll be quiet for this. Yeah, woo! But guys, like Zero is so nice and cute that like even his death stare is more just like, you know, like a little kid pouting. You know, like when little kids are like angry with you and they like pout and make an angry face, but it's just like really cute instead. It's like not at all intimidating. Like that's what Zero is. Not Jangbi though. Jangbi's angry face is scary as shit, man. Let me tell you, I've seen that in real life. That is fucking scary. Okay, but Zero's a cutie. Anyway, at the bottom left, as the red Protoss, we will have Jangbi. We are on electric circuit, by the way. And at the top right, as the purple Zerg, we will have Zero.
부담스러울 정도로 지금 저그가 7연승을 하고 있기 때문에
Alright, we're going to have cross positions again. And let's see what Jangbi busts out on this map. This map, I don't know what statistically it favors, but it's kind of annoying for the Protoss with that back door, where, you know, lurkers can break it down very easily and kind of run into your main. So, let's see. Youngmu L. Alright, the Korean commentator seems to have got that. I didn't get that. But we do see Apollon at the front of the National now, so it could be a Forge Fast expand. I was going to say probably, but after last game, I'm not really sure what we're going to see anymore. And looks like first Overlord is out. Is he gonna do pull first again? Is he gonna overpull? No, there's no pull going down yet. So it looks like it is just gonna be a 12 hatch this game. Yeah, your sign is hard to read, dude. Whoa. Whoa. Looks like we see a Forge indeed, and the first hatchery, the 12 hatch being planted at the back mirror only. That is fairly common on this map. I'm honestly not 100% sure why. The natural should usually be fairly safe to take, but it doesn't actually make a huge difference because you'll just take your natural as your third base anyway. And I mean, I guess it's slightly safer against, I don't know, some kind of proxy gates, maybe? Ish? I don't know. Where's Bakuryu? Is Bakuryu here? He's pretty smart, he'll tell me. So we do have a blind Forge Nexus here from Jangbi, not going to scout, going to save that, or keep the probe mining, save those extra minerals. And this is a fairly safe opening anyway. It's like safe against everything, I guess, except 4 pool, 5 pool. I think it's still okay against a 9 pool. Maybe not. Maybe it's close against a 9 pool. But 9 pool will be pretty unusual. And looks like an Avid Gateway at the top there, so nice little wall in from Jangbi. I'm fairly certain that's tight below the Forge. I'm not 100% sure, but I would imagine it is. And now Zero just going to take his 3rd base. So it looks like after the craziness of Game 1, both players now going to play very, very standard, which is good. It's good. So, Pro guy moving to the top right. And going to see a hatchery has been planted. Oh! Oh wow, those lings didn't even attack. I think he had them just like running out on right click on move commands to be like outside the natural. And just kind of ran into the probe, headbutted the probe there a little bit. And there's like, oh, sneaky Zero actually making the lair at his mineral only, so the probe does not see it. Now this is very interesting because, you know, normally in PvZ you would just expect a fast lair anyway, but, you know, nowadays with the metagame being that you can 3-edge Hydra open instead, without seeing that lair, Jangbi might be a little bit concerned about that, especially on Electric Circuit, where I feel like going for the Hydra opening is actually more popular even than on other maps, just because you have that back mineral only instead of a normal, like, farther away expo. So the probe actually went and checked the 3 o'clock, doesn't see anything there. He's now going to go check the top left base. It's probably the top left natural on the 12 o'clock. And if he still doesn't see anything, well, I mean, he should know that the mineral only is taken. But without seeing that lair, he's not going to know exactly what's going on. Looks like... Girl's got a second gas, no second gas here for the Zerg. Looks like Stargate on the way as expected. And I'd imagine that Jangbi will go for a Stargate build on this map, a Corsair build. Sorry, not Stargate build. A mass Corsair play, +1 Corsair play. Just because not only is that very popular in the current metagame, but also on this map because you get that back mineral only as well. Even if you're sacrificing the strength of your ground army to get your Corsair fleet up, you can still take another expansion pretty easily, or very easily rather, because you have that the back mineral only. So I think that's why it's probably a good idea on this map. In the meantime, we do see a 4th hatchery just in the main base here of Zero, not bothering to SimCity anywhere, just because you know, he just has to defend that 1 point at the natural, since he took his safe expo. And another cannon gonna go up here for Jangbi. He's got 3 zealots out already, getting +1, getting another gateway at his natural. So everything is normal here. Stargate Citadel and then the second gateway for the Protoss player. And Zero just now taking his second gas after 5 hatcheries, so very unlikely to be any muted play or anything like that. This Spire is probably just going to be used for Scourge to keep the Corsair count down. And man, that pylon looks like it should block the gas, but it doesn't. Nicely placed. So yeah, it's going to be a very passive game for now. I mean, neither player is really going to be able to do anything, especially in cross positions here. I feel like Jangbi will probably take his mineral only fairly quickly, and Zero will just kind of defensively take a 4th. I highly doubt we're going to see a lot of aggression from either player before another expansion. There's like Temple Archives and another cannon even going up there for Jangbi. But we do see actually some mutas coming out, so it is a delayed Mutalisk build from Zero. Even though he got his later second gas, he just got a much later Mutalisk as well. But Jangbi's, he's got his cannon going up in the main. He's not actually continuing to produce Corsairs though. He's only made 2 Corsairs total, and one of them is flying outside around the Zerg's base, so it's likely going to get killed by those Scourge. And he didn't, in fact, miss the Mutalisks go out, so he's not gonna know it's coming until it actually hits him. But I wonder if you can judge just from what's in the Zerg's main what's happening here. Just from like the lack of Hydras. Actually, is there even a Hydra den somewhere? There must be, but oh no, the Muta's going in now to the natural, killing some probes. The Zealot's now going to move out as a counter-attack. and this is looking quite bad for Jangbi here. He's lost a few probes here. He's getting denied mining. And the thing is, Zero didn't even make that many mutas. Oh my god, this is actually really smart. I think Zero only made like 3 or 4 mutas. I think this is actually a completely fake muta attack. Because look at this, now he's got plenty of hydras to defend the counterattack. Yeah, that was very nice. Just making 3 or 4 mutas, trying to force an overreaction from Jangbi. I mean, he killed a few probes, he denied mining, and then basically induced Jangbi into doing like a zealot counterattack, which then did absolutely nothing because he was actually making hydras. This is really, really cool. Really smart play from Zero. And now it's going to get warded away by those 2 courses. I'm curious whether Jangbi invested in a second cannon. No, he didn't make a second cannon in the main. Okay, so it wasn't actually that bad for Jangbi. Yeah, but we do actually have a lot of cannons here now at the front. Oh man, because he's got to defend this Hydraless counterattack. He's going to have to kill one of those cannons later on if he wants to leave his base though. That's not going to be ideal. But we do have 3 zealots coming in for counterattack once again. Nope, not going to get anything done. And here we go, the muta's going in as well to just tank some hits here while the Hydra's going in. That's not going to work. There's way too many cannons here. The Corsairs going to help take down the mutas. I don't know why Zero's committing to this. Zero, what are you doing? Oh my god, this is not... Well, no, maybe it's going to work actually. Actually, it's going to be freaking close. Nice probe pull from Jangbi. Nice interception of the reinforcements, but Jangbi is down to just 1 cannon in the back. It's not quite in range of the front of the wall. Jangbi is looking in big trouble here. Zero going for the mid-game Hydra bust. The supplies are dead even at 47 to 50. There is a Dark Templar there, but there's an Overlord there as well. Jangbi trying to rebuild those cannons. He's trying to buy time with those Zealots. Is it going to be enough? He did lose a few probes in that attack as well. Now the Hydra's going back in, but there are a good number of Zealots and a High Templar behind as well. And this time actually he built the cannons in such a way that his units can actually move freely between the 2 cannon lines, which I think is quite nice. The Forge is going to get taken down though, so he's going to build whatever cannons he wants now, and then wait for another Forge, I guess. But oh, Storm is done. Nice Storm there on those approaching Hydras. So it looks like Jangbi will hold this off successfully. However, has the damage been done? Zero has a supply lead now over Jangbi. 61 supply to 53 for Jangbi. I really wish we could actually have a look at the saturation at Jangbi's natural. I want to see exactly how many probes he lost. Of course, he lost some to the Mutalisk and then lost some more trying to hold off that Hydra bust. So that was a bit tricky for him. And oh, looks like the Hydras are moving in once again. They're going to snipe 1 cannon and immediately run back. Looks like, oh, trying to get the high... No, they're actually going for the cannon. I'm surprised that he's just not concerned about Psystorm at all. And it looks like Jangbi just doesn't have the energy anyway. And Zero doing a really good job running in, picking off a cannon and running back before the Zealots can do too much damage. Looks like 1 Corsair running around harassing. But look at this, Zero just constantly flooding Hydras, and oh, left a few Hydras at the back home to defend. I think it's a good idea, because if he rallied all of his Hydras to the front, the Kronos could just sneak a DT into his main, and that's like a sure way to just lose from this position for Zero. Meanwhile though, Jangbi has actually saved up 400 minerals, enough for a Nexus at the back. Jangbi's just not at all concerned. He's like, oh, Zerg's trying to Hydra bust me? I guess it's time to expand. I mean, this is a pretty ballsy play from Jangbi, also getting a robot as natural, so if he does choose to make any Reavers, they can just pop out right there. Might be useful actually to get a Reaver or 2, because also, like now Zero kind of has him semi-contained with these Hydralisks, and he can eventually get Lurkers as well and kind of do a proper Lurker contain, and having the Reavers out there will be extremely useful. Oh, Corsair, I think it's going to get away. Yeah, looks like it will. Nice reaction time by Zero though to pull the Scourge back after only taking a single cannon hit. Zero though holding onto his supply lead just barely, 72 to 69. But that's not really an issue for Jangbi because he's got his 3rd base going up. Zero though, I think he saw that with an Overlord, so now he's actually taking a 4th base at the 3 o'clock. Yeah, it looks like that's just finished. So we are actually, despite that pretty aggressive opening, going into a mid/late game here. Jangbi though still kind of a little bit on the defensive. I'm not gonna say he's not behind, but a little bit on the back foot, shall we say. And there are the Lurkers being morphed. Going to... Oh my goodness, a Dark Archon from Jangbi. Wow, that is not a unit that you see very often. That is one of my favorite units in the game, though, especially in PvZ. So many cool spells on that guy. Feedback, Maelstrom, Mind Control even, although it's probably unlikely we'll see that. I feel like this is just to Maelstrom any mutas that come out, because as we saw in the last game, you know, Zero did do that, like, mid-game, or not really mid-game, but you know, that muta switch to try and pick off High Templars, and that is a very common tactic for Zerg players to do, to just snipe a bunch of High Templars with the Mutalisks. And Jangbi did not do the usual Protoss thing to get a bunch of +1 Corsairs. He only made a couple of Corsairs, so he's not going to have, you know, that nice anti-air to deal with that. Even if he gets Dragoons, the Mutas can still just tank a bunch of Dragoon shots and run in and pick off your Templar. So instead, Jangbi's going for a Dark Archon. If a Muta clump comes in, he'll Maelstrom the entire clump, and then he can just use like one Storm and kill all of them. So, or one Storm plus a few Dragoon shots, I guess. One Storm I don't think kills a Muta. It's just under the amount of damage you need. It's like 110 damage, and the Muta has 120 health. And triple upgrades from Zero and a Queen's Nest. And what this basically means is he's going for a mass tier 1 style late game. He's going to be making, you know, almost pure Zerglings and Hydralisks, and just getting a few Hive Tech units to support, primarily the Defilers. And now breaking in the back. Ooh, nice Storm though. Jangbi did see it coming with that Pylon, so going to block that from going in. But that does leave up, you know, a second place that Jangbi has to defend. But yeah, this is a very, very cool style from Zero, getting those triple upgrades. I feel like that's what he's doing. Of course, he does have some lurkers now. Needs some of those beefy units against the Protoss. But once he goes up to the Hive, he can mass, you know, crackling Hydra and be extremely, extremely cost efficient. Very, very good stuff. Actually makes me think of the foreign player LRM Pike. He does this like all the time in ZVP, and I think in ZVT as well. Anyway, Lurkerling moving in to reinforce his contain. I mean, Jangbi, I'm not sure exactly what he's going to wait for here, but the longer he waits, the harder it is going to be to break out of this contain. And I don't know, is he just, I mean, he's massing up his gateway units. He's got his Dark Archon chilling there. He's got to do something soon. He does not want to let Zero just get to Hive for free and still have this contain. If Defilers join this contain and, you know, start Dark Swarming the Lurkers, it'll be almost impossible for him to break out. So he absolutely needs to go out before Hive, and the sooner the better, providing he does have enough units. But Zero just staying ahead in the supply non-stop. 148 supply against 133 for Jangbi right now. Look at how many hatcheries he's at. That's another indication of, you know, just his mass unit stall here. Says so many hatcheries, adding yet another hatchery at his fourth there. Looks like a few Zealots did manage to run out onto the map, but they're not going to do too much here. They're going to get easily cleaned up by the well, actually maybe not. Not that many units are sent over. They do have +2 attack. The Hydra Lurker are at 1-1. Presumably +1 melee attack is done as well from those triple evos. But Jangbi is in a pretty rough spot right now. I'm not exactly sure what he should be doing. I guess he's going to move out now. He's decided now is the time. Doing the correct thing, leading out with the Dragoons, keeping his Zealots back, keeping the High Templar just behind the Dragoon line to support them with Storms. This is exactly how you break a push. You don't just aim move everything out, or else you will get completely annihilated by the Lurker field. You need to lead with the Dragoons, keep your Zealots safe, and once all the Lurkers are gone, then you move out with Zealots. Or if the Zerg commits and sends in all his Lings and Hydras, then you can also go in with your Zealots. But otherwise, you primarily want to be just using the Dragoons and supporting them with Side Storms, like just pushing back Hydras and Lings. But it looks like all the Lings are flooding in right now. Do they have? I think they have the Adrenal Gland upgrade. I'm not quite sure. No, actually, maybe not. But nice Storms on those Lings, killing most of them, and he's got to break out right now. Jangbi's just going for the break. Is he going to be able to break out of this contain? If he can break out of this contain, that'll be so good for him. He's taking out a lot of the Lurkers. He's still got a lot of units left. Zero is flooding in Zerglings, but they're not quite reaching the front in time. The Lurker field is going to go down here. The last, it looks like a couple of Lurkers remaining. The Lings coming in, but it looks like Jangbi also has lost most of his forces here. Jangbi with no more Storms, with only Zealots and Dragoons left, and those are not particularly cost efficient against what the Zerg has right now. The Zealots going to get melted by those Lurkers, and the Dragoons themselves are not going to do enough here. It looks like Jangbi is going to be pushed back into his main, and I think that one engagement, that contain break that Zero barely held is probably going to decide the game now. Now I think Zero has a commanding position in this game. He's still at 122 supply against the 109 of Jangbi. And he's also got his Defiler tech up, and that's gonna make, you know, if he can reset up a Lurker Contain now, and oh, the Proxy Hatchery. The Proxy Hatchery, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that is not a Manor Hatchery. He's actually building that so he can build Sunken and Spore colonies there to support his Lurker Contain. He's actually trying to Sunken, Lurker, Spore contain the Protoss army. He is, we actually famously saw this in Great versus Bisu on Neo Medusa, which is essentially like the predecessor of this map, in fact. But is it going to be enough? Jangbi really wants to break this. If that Sunken, Lurker, Spore contain gets up, he's not going to break it. But no, he does force a cancel on the Hatchery. Zero realizes, no, wait, no, he's going to rebuild it. Zero actually just couldn't decide whether he would be able to hold the Protoss forces back long enough to get the Hatchery or not, but it looks like no, he ends up canceling it again, wasting some minerals there, but still flooding in a ton of units. Jangbi not going to let himself get contained like that, storming everything, zergling blood all over the place, but there's the Dark Swarm, and that's probably going to be the finishing blow to Jangbi. Now he has nothing. He has only Dragoons. The Archons will do some splash damage under the Dark Swarm, but they will not do their full damage, and the Dragoons obviously do nothing. Jangbi mined out on his main. He's only on his natural and his mineral only now. Zero, I believe, is taking the 12 o'clock expansion again. I like how he's taking all the close expansions to him rather than like expanding to another main, because one thing Protoss can do in this situation also is to go for a lot of counter drop harass, like with do Zealot drops or DT drops or whatnot, so it's much easier for the Zerg if he just has his bases close by to help defend those. Meanwhile, a Ling Defiler attack going after this Nexus. Oh my god, the Nexus is probably going to go down. Those cannons do nothing, and GG from Jangbi. Zero takes game number 2, evens up the score 1-1 with a great, solid, long game there. Jangbi and Zero both playing it straight up. It went to the late game, and yet Zero took it despite what was said in the in the OSL write-up on Team Liquid. Zero managed to win the late game management ZVP. And we are going to have at least 2 more games here. Oh my god, did you see that? Did you see that? Zero's eye just twitched. Oh god. Oh god, his eye twitched. His eye twitched! We're all gonna die. Or rather, Jangbi's gonna die. Oh! Well. Alright. Oh no, it's back. Was that my internet, or was that this stream? I'm so confused.